Okay, I've just pressed the button that I didn't know if I was supposed to press or not, but I'm still trying to work this thing out. Like I'm still trying. I'm trying. But I think I am streaming. Let me just double check. Let me double check quickly. You can see. Can you see me, yeah, Mum? Can you see me right now? Yeah, it is live. So I'm just double checking with my mum if it's live. Okay, cool. Good. All right. Okay, let's start. This is what happens when you do things live. This is kind of what happens. Let me just put this down. If you could type in the chat to let me know that the sound's okay before I start. If you type in the chat and just say yes, the sound's good. Okay. Or you can WhatsApp me. All right. Okay. So let's begin. Today's incense I am burning is super hit. Oh, thank you, Mum. Today's incense I'm burning is super hit. Yeah, I love this incense. It smells amazing. Today's tea I'm drinking is... Gosh, I should have got the tea bag. Probably say yogi tea, organic women's health. I love these teas because, like, on the back of it, it gives you like these really cool, what do you call these things? Like, just a really cool message. So this one says, "Life is a gift, experience is the beauty." I just love it. I'm just ringing my bells to clear my space, and then we will begin. Okay, so welcome, greetings. Today I am gonna tell you how to not kill your plants. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing, you've been given a plant, you just bought a plant. Previously in the video I did before, I spoke about how you can know where to position your plant, basically. You can just do a little bit of research about your plant. You can look it up on the internet and it can kind of tell you the position or what ideal room it should actually be in. So for example, if you have a plant that likes high humidity, they will be better suited in a room like a bathroom or a kitchen. And then if you have a plant that doesn't need that much humidity to survive, you can kind of pretty much put it somewhere where there is enough light for it to thrive. I would also say that once you've established, the place where you're going to put your plant, you're going to want to then water it, because that's what you do with plants. You water your plants. The most common mistake that people do, though, is they overwater their plants. And if you overwater your plants, then they will die. So if you over love them, then you can kill them. So it's good to know what is enough and what is too much in regards to watering. There's also different types of water that you can use to water your plants with. I found out the hard way. So for example, if you are watering your plant, and you notice the leaves start to turn yellow and you're not overwatering your plant, then maybe that plant doesn't like tap water. Now, tap water is full of nasty stuff, which is why I don't like drinking tap water. I like to drink filtered water or spring water or mineral water. So I would prefer to not drink tap water. So I can understand why certain plants don't like tap water, because it's got loads of things in it which it can't handle, which is why it's showing you by the leaves turning yellow that it doesn't want tap water. So that's something to bear in mind. And I bet you're thinking, okay, so if my plant doesn't like tap water, what can I give it? Well, there's other sorts of water that you can actually give it. So there is rainwater. So what you could do is you could go outside and catch some rain. I'm joking. What you could do, you can make rain catchers. So I've seen different types of versions of rain catchers. I mean, if you type in rain catchers on Pinterest, there's so many ideas that you can do with your children, with yourself, just odd bits and pieces around the house that you can use to collect rainwater, which is a really cool project to do. You can also collect rainwater, depending if you live in a house or you have a garden or whatever, you can collect it in buckets. I live in a flat and I have a fake balcony. You know, those French balconies, it's not really a balcony, it's just like, okay. But I do have like a little ledge where I put my plants, and sometimes I will put like some type of bucket, some type of container, which is large enough to catch the rainwater. But like I said, because it is like a fake balcony, I don't get that much of the water coming in, so it's quite difficult for me to collect rainwater. So I try my best. All for the plants. But there are other ways. So I remember suggesting to my mum that she should get it's like a water butt container. So basically it's this large container that you use to catch rainwater in. I don't know what the specific name is, but maybe a water container, a large water container, water catcher. And you would basically, when it rains, you open it and it catches the rainwater, and you can reuse rainwater for loads of things. So yeah, you can do that. I've also seen people using their gutter systems. Thank you, Empress Vibrant. Thank you, NT. So I just noticed like some comments here. I really missed these little comment things. Thank you. But yeah, I've seen other people like using their gutter systems to catch the water, and then they lead the gutter systems into the big rain catcher. So I think that's a really good idea, because like, you know, the rainwater always goes in there, but then it goes back into like the sewage or whatever, wherever the rainwater goes, just gets recycled back. So instead of doing that, catch it before it does that, because it's beneficial for your plants. And some of them might thrive better than if you were to give them tap water. Okay, now, if you are not trying to, be about that life catching rain, if you're not trying to, make much more effort, like if you just want to I just want to water my plants, like I ain't got time to be catching rainwater, then another suggestion I would say is distilled water. Distilled water, you can buy distilled water. So if you don't have time, but you got the money, you got the coin, yeah, then buy the distilled water. That is what I would say to you. And then you could make your own distilled water. Now, I've seen a couple ways of people doing it, and I quickly researched just before I did this video how to make distilled water, because I don't make distilled water. I'm going to tell you what I do in a second, but I feel like it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of effort to make distilled water. But I basically saw this lady. She got like a pot. So preferably getting a pot which has a lid. The pot with the same lid, because sometimes people don't have matching lids to their pots. But anyway, that's another story. But get a pot with a lid, and then you would get a stainless steel bowl. So the bowl would be smaller than the pot that you're using. And then you would put the stainless steel bowl, you would fill the pot up with water, then you put the stainless steel bowl on top of the water. And then you would put the lids, you would turn it upside down, you would invert it, and then what would happen is, once it starts boiling, the water would steep down into the bowl, and that's distilled water. So that's how you would make it. Then you would have to wait for it to cool down, and then you'd give it to your plants. It's a very long process. So I want to tell you what I do, because I don't do that. And the plants that should be getting distilled water, they're alive. So my method works just as well. So I use a method called alkaline water. I think there's different ways of you being able to obtain alkaline water, but how I like to do it is I get, we had a shungite. So shungite, shungite's a really good crystal to have, stone crystal, whatever you want to call it. It's this, probably can't see it. It's this, it's this. And I wear it, it's really good at protecting you from EMFIs, radiation, all that kind of stuff. So I like to use that to wear. But I remember my mum, I remember seeing her putting shungite crystals in her Brita filter. And I was like, wait, what's that? What are you doing? And she's just like, yeah, we need to, filter our water and taste it. It tastes lighter, don't you think? And I was just like, oh my gosh, this water is so bad. This water's amazing. It's out and it's alkaline as well. So I got the idea from my mum. So basically what I've done is I've got one of these little glass jar things you normally like serve fruit punches and stuff out of. That's where I've seen them. I got this and I filled out with water. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see, as you can see at the bottom, I have like these shungite crystals. So basically what I just showed you, which is around my neck, they're basically shards of this that have been cut up. And I've just put it in the bottom of here. And I just refill it and I water my plants with this. And I think they like it. I know they like it. And what I've also done, I'll do this in another video, and I think it's working actually, I just looked over. I've basically, I like to propagate. And what I've done is, let me just quickly show you. I like to propagate. And what I've actually done is I've actually put some shungite. I'm doing a little experiment. I've actually got some shungite in this test tube. And I just want to see how quickly this is going to root with the shungite in it. So this is like this is shungite water. It's going to be alkaline. I just want to see how quickly it roots. Because I can't remember who it was, but I remember someone saying that, I think it was Mikkel, saying that his neighbors use shungite powder to grow their stuff with, and it was like growing really fast. And I was just like, whoa, that's amazing. I need to get some shungite powder. That'd be really cool. But anyway, moving on, I'm going into a slightly different topic now. Once you've established what type of water your plant likes, you're gonna wanna know how much water you should be watering it. I'm gonna give a little example, actually. So for example, with this, what can I show? Okay, so for example, perfect. I want to show you. This plant here is in a plastic pot. I'm gonna give this plant a water. And what I would suggest as well is, if you are not sure if you should water your plant, you can do one or two things. You can get your finger and you can push your finger in the soil, and if it's moist, you'll be able to tell because you'll feel the moistness. So if it's moist, then you shouldn't water your plant. And it depends what type of plant. I should say that, because some plants like to be kept moist. Their soil likes to actually be kept moist. But that's another segment. But if the soil isn't dry, then I would suggest not watering it. But if it is dry, go ahead and water it, And there's different types of methods of you watering your plant. So for example, you can water your plant like just using the odds, like reusing your water bottles. I pretty much do that. I should just get like what would you call it, a watering can or a watering bottle or something like that. But hey, I'm a simple type of gal. So you could use just like a plastic bottle, something like that. You could use a pressure sprayer. This is a pressure sprayer. Ugh. These are quite good to have. And I'll talk about misting as well, because this is sort of watering your plant, but you're not directly watering your plant. This is more to raise the humidity of the plant. But yeah, I'm going to show you. So I've got this plant here. I'm going to water this plant. But what I want you to see is that we're gonna water this plant until we see water coming out at the bottom. Because a lot of people are just like, so when do I stop watering? How much is too much? So you just want to add you add water until, look, so it's starting to drip. So therefore, I'm gonna stop. All that water is gonna seep through. And here's a tip: I took this plant out of its pot. Yeah. This plant, if I put it back in the pot and just put it away and forget about it, it's not a good practice to keep, because the pot is still draining. So this water is still draining out from the pot. And basically what tends to happen is some people just even water their plants like this. So just say the plant's in here, and then I grab my water and I just start watering my plant, and I just forget about it. I just leave it there. Forget about the plant. It's all good. It's not good. Don't do that. The reason why is because that excess water at the bottom of the plant is going to create root rot. It's going to also going to attract gnats and other things that you don't want. So I would suggest, before that even happens, if you don't have like a saucer like this, because I'm pouring it on a saucer, if you don't have like a saucer like this, that's fine. You can still water it in this pot, and then just leave it for a bit, pick it up, and then if there's any excess water, you can just like tip it out. But that's something that you should bear in mind. Because a lot of people are just like, but I'm not overwatering my plant. I don't know what I'm doing to it. Why is it like this? Blah blah blah. And a lot of the times it's because of the excess water at the bottom of the plant. It doesn't like that at all. It can't breathe. The roots are just, it doesn't like it. And then, so that was a plastic pot that I used, yeah, because it's different now. This is a terracotta pot. The reason why it's different is because the material and the texture. So terracotta is a very, what's the word? It's a very porous, sorry, 1 second. Terracotta is a very porous pot material, if you want to say. Sorry, I'm just seeing a bit of gnats in here, so I'm just spraying it. So I have them under control. But I'll move on to gnats in another story, because that is another thing that is quite annoying when you get plants. You might start to see little flies flying out of your plant, or flying around your plant, or trying to fly in your nose. It's so annoying, but hey, we'll move on to that another day. So yeah, just say you're wanting to water your terracotta, your plant, which is in a terracotta pot. Same thing, you water it until the water comes out. But what I would suggest is you give it a lot more water than you would normally do, because the pot itself will suck up a lot of water. Yes, Empress Vibrance put really good information regarding not leaving water in once you water your plants. Yes, thank you, Queen. It's a very common mistake that people make, actually, and it's simple to just not do it as long as you know, because if you don't know, then you won't know. But yeah, remember to always give the plant a little bit more water if it's in a terracotta pot, because terracotta pots and plastic pots are very different. And I would also suggest not putting every type of plant in a terracotta pot. Like, for example, I spoke about plants that like their soil to be kept moist. If there's a plant that likes their soil to be kept moist, it's not really a good idea to be putting it in a terracotta pot, because it's going to dry it out more than it would in a plastic pot. So you're going to have to you could put it in a terracotta pot, but you're going to make more work for yourself. making sure that it's moist because the terracotta is literally taking more water in. So I would suggest putting a plant like that in a plastic pot. But hey, it's up to you. It's up to you. What else was I gonna say? I think that's it on watering. If anybody has any questions, let me know. But I think that's it on watering plants. I'm just trying to think of any other tips and tricks that I can give you. Okay, so humidity, that's what I spoke about. So spray bottles. Okay, so for example, I didn't even tell you what this plant was. This plant is Tammy. This plant's called Tammy. My viewers helped me name her on Instagram. So this is Tammy, the tamarind. And yeah, it's a tamarind plant. You know the tamarind that you eat? Yeah. My dad eats tamarind, and I think I took one of the seeds and I had it in my seed drawer. And literally on a whim, I was like, let me just plant this. I wonder if it's gonna grow. And then someone was like, it's not gonna grow. You're not in the Caribbean. And I was like, do you know what? Let me just plant it. I want to plant it and see. And I planted it, and it like grew. It sprouted out like a shoot. I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna grow. And I was like, do you know what? It deserves its own pot. And I I bought this pot, and I was like, I want to put you in here. And it's doing really well. Like, it's growing. I don't know if it's gonna give me any tamarinds. I don't know how big it's gonna get, but I love it. I love this plant. But like I was saying, it likes to be in a humid place. I mean, I'm in London. It's freezing at the moment. I'm trying to keep this plant's humidity up. So what I like to do, so for example, when I cook, I will leave the door open because my kitchen is connected to my living room, and the steam will seep out into the living room. That's another way of like raising humidity through the cooking and the steam. I've heard of stories of people actually boiling water like for the whole day in their kitchen to raise the humidity. But I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. To be boiling water all day. Another thing as well, where did it go? Oh, it's here. Another thing as well that you can get, which is really cool, I actually need to upgrade mine because mine's quite small. I mean, it wasn't small when I got it. It's just the number of plants that I have, it's not sufficient enough. So this is a humidifier. These are really good. I would advise if you don't have one, it's a good buy. It's a good product to have. It's really good. So, for example, with my plants, like I said, some of them like humidity. And what I would do is I put water in here. Sometimes I put essential oils in because I love the smell. And then I'll just put it on. I'll literally just put it on. Suppose I can show you, but I'm sure you know what how a humidifier works, but hey. And basically what the humidifier does, it raises the humidity. It raises the humidity. Look, literally just by that, doing that. So I mean, it's okay, but I need a big one. And you can get big ones. I'm gonna get a really big one. But yeah, they're cool to have. Okay, so with this plant though specifically, I would get a misting bottle. There are loads of types of different misting bottles you can get. This one I got from Homebase. So what I would do is just mist the plant like this. And what I tend to do actually is I'll go around my gaff and I will, oh gosh, literally just hear that sound. When my daughter hears that sound, she knows what time it is. I'm just like, and doing this, spraying your plants like this, is really good for them. And it's also good at just like, if there are any bugs or anything like that on your leaves, you're actually, I suppose, in a way, getting rid of them as well by spraying it. But I would also suggest when you're spraying your leaves, I would also suggest once in a while, when you are doing this, spraying your leaves, to get some type of pest killer or something like that, pest killer or water, just to wipe your leaves. It's important to clean the leaves of your plants, so it allows them to, you know, properly take in the light and do their thing. Another good tip as well is to clean your windows. The reason why I say this is because if you have dirty windows, the light is not really coming in as best as it could, and as best as it could as if they were clean, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. So yeah. Oh hey Nadia, how you doing? If there's any questions, please let me know. I think I've kind of like spoken all I can speak about in regards to plants today. I mean, you know me, I can speak forever, but I'm trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the videos a little bit short because I know how I can be. I can go on. But I think that's it for now. I mean, if you guys have any questions, if you have any queries, please let me know. You can DM me via Instagram and I can answer your question in the next session that we have. If there's anything you want me to cover, please let me know. I don't think I can go live with people on this. I think I can, but I don't know how to do that yet. Someone was saying to me that I can go live with someone on YouTube, like how, you know, on Instagram you can go live with someone. But I'm not too sure if I can do this on YouTube. Apparently I can. So once I figure that out, we can start going live with people and they can start showing the plants and I can advise as well, if that's a possibility. I'm sure it is. Technology, isn't it? Empress Vibrant has put, is it true that water with eggshells can feed the plants? Yes! I was going to do that in another video, but now you've asked me. Of course I'm going to tell you. So, so fertilization. Okay. So, I mean, during the winter, you wouldn't, I mean, you wouldn't fertilize your plants as much as you would. And I think you would hardly fertilize them over winter, only because what I've read and from what I've known is certain fertilizers can burn the roots of your plants. But these are fertilizers that you buy from the shops. And I am aware that fertilizers that you buy from the shops have different types of chemicals in there. Not all of them, but majority of them do. And I like to use fertilizers around the house. So it's cost effective and it's zero waste, because you're going to dash away the stuff you would have used. You would have dashed away the stuff that you're going to use for your plants if you didn't know about it. So for example, eggshells. Eggshells is definitely a good one. I started saving eggshells when I saw my mum start doing it, and I was very confused when I first saw her collecting eggshells, just thinking, why is she collecting eggshells? But why? It's like, there's a reason for all of this. Eggshells are really good to collect and put around your garden for those sneaky slugs that like to just eat up your produce. So eggshells are good for that. Not only are they good for that, they're good for calcium in your plants. So if you get eggshells, what I like to do is I crush them up. I crush my eggshells up, and then I will put them in the soil. I'll put them in the compost. But yeah, you can put them in water. You can get eggshells, soak those in water, and then, get eggshells, soak those in water, and then use the water from the eggshells to water and fertilize your plants. You can do that. And another thing as well you can do is you can get bananas. So if you are a banana lover and you throw away all your banana skins and you have plants, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this information. So bananas are really good fertilizers. It's got, yeah, I don't know why. I should know why, but anyway. I think it's because of the potassium in it, I don't know. And the sugars that are in it as well. So get your banana skin, I can't bother to go up and show you, but get a jar, get your banana skins in a jar, fill it up with water, and then, I mean, the longer you wait, the more potent the mixture will be. But I would say about a week. You can use it less than that. So 3 to 4 days, you could use it. You remove the bananas. You could put the bananas in a compost bin. Or you can do something else with your bananas. I'm not going to tell you now because I wanted to do that in like a special video, but watch this space. And then once you got the banana water, you just feed your plants the banana water, and they love it. They really do love it. They thrive. And another thing as well that you can use to fertilize your plants is rice water. Rice water is amazing. And it's funny because I've heard of like people using rice water to wash their hair, and I never thought of putting it in plants. And I mean, I've actually tried it. I tried it a couple of weeks ago. I washed my hair with rice water, and it worked out for me. It was really good. I'm gonna actually start doing that. It was a bit stinky, so I added essential oils because I couldn't take the smell. But yeah, it's good. It's supposed to grow your hair really fast. So it's no surprise that it would do that with plants. So for example, I feed my monsteras specifically with rice water. And I noticed when I feed them with rice water, there's just new growth popping out everywhere. It's amazing because I love watching a monstera unfurl. It's so fascinating. But the fact that I can use rice water that I always used to throw in the sink, like always used to throw it away. And I've bought fertilizers before, and they can get very expensive, especially if you're buying them, consistently, especially if you're buying them like that. So if you want to, save some money and recycle things around your house, these are items that you could use. And even with vegetables, when you're washing your vegetables or the water that you've boiled your vegetables with, as long as you haven't put like salt and stuff in there, because that's a no-no. The only type of salt you can use with plants is Epsom salt. And Epsom salt is really good when you're growing things like vegetables and fruit and stuff like that, because it sweetens. Apparently, it sweetens the produce on the plant. So yeah, do not use any type of salt unless it's Epsom salt. But yeah, if you're boiling your vegetables and you're not really putting anything in there, by all means, wait for it to cool down and then give it to your plants. So yeah, there are ways. Thank you for your question, Empress Vibrant, and you're welcome. You're much welcome. But yeah, I think that's it for now. 32 minutes is a good time. Yeah. Okay, so like I said, not just put. What about Himalayan salt? I would say no. No. Himalayan salt, I would say no. The only reason why I'll say no for Himalayan salt is because I remember I had those salt lamps. I've got quite a few jotted around the house. And I remember I put the salt lamp next to one of my plants and it didn't like it. And I just thought because it was salt, that's why. So no, I would say no to Himalayan salt and sea salt. Like no, I know like we would like eat we would eat like Himalayan salt and sea salt and like say no to table salt. But with plants, I don't think they can have sea salt. No, sea salt or Himalayan salt. I think the only type of plants that can have that are like, plants that can live under the water, like salt plants. I don't know. I'll look into that for you, Nads, but I don't think so. I don't think Himalayan salt. But yeah, like I said, trying to keep me here longer. Like I said, that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to Nadia, Empress Vibrant, NT. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back here on Monday. I'm not too sure what I'm going to be talking about, but it's going to be plant related, obviously. But if you have any ideas for me, or if you've got any questions, they are much welcome. So please send them on. And if you're not, follow me on Instagram at indigenous.uk. And yeah, I'll be back here on Mondays and Thursdays at 3:30. Take care. Keep on digging. Dig deep. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.